Hello, I'm Jessica Ball and I'm the founder of Hannah's Care Packages. And I want to take the time to personally thank all of those who signed up for the Anchored in Iron 2 powerlifting competition. We're super excited about this event and partnering with Iron Mafia and CrossFit Strode Station again. Last year's meet was super successful. We raised about $6,000. We had 65 lifters and we had a little over 300 spectators for the meet, so it was a lot of fun. We're doing something a little different this year. We're going to have the opportunity for our lifters to really get the chance to interact with some of our local families that we have served through Hannah's Care Packages. And so we're excited to tell you about this opportunity. We've decided to name this team Anchored in Hope. And here in just a few minutes, you'll hear some stories from some of our lifters and some of our families as to why this would be important aspect of this meet and what kind of effect it might have on you as a lifter or as a family. So I really appreciate you all supporting what we do and supporting our families that we love, and we look forward to it.
My son was born at 30 weeks, 1 pound 11 ounces, and I received a package when he was being airlifted to Cincinnati Children's. And that package had all of the essentials that I would need. I didn't have to worry about rushing home to get my shampoo, conditioners, and other toiletry products and little snack foods, things like that. And so I just got to focus on the main goal of being with my son and not running everywhere trying to get my luggage together and get my things together. So it was a very humbling and, I don't know the word for it, I guess just nice experience. It was something I didn't think that anybody would ever think of the parents or think of to do for another family whenever they're in a situation like that. I mean, I knew what powerlifting was, kind of. I didn't realize the effort that they put into it or the effort that the whole Anchored in Iron meet was put into it until, you know, we started putting it together and organizing it. Definitely something I couldn't powerlift, but I can be part of Hannah's and cheer them on along the way. But no, never experienced anything like it. It's very blissful almost. It was words couldn't express what it was like to raise that type of money and to have that type of turnout come out and support the lifters and Hannah's together. It's huge because without events like this or sponsorships like this, we wouldn't be able to, I wouldn't say we wouldn't be able to, but we wouldn't have the amount of funding that we do get to raise to be able to put a package together. So by the powerlifters coming together with Hannah's to do this, it makes it huge for us families because we can continue to give those families that gift of the packages and other things along the way, you know, that we do. So it's huge for an event like this and for what everyone's coming together and for the families. I think it's a very good experience for not only the families but for the lifters. I think then everybody gets to see both sides. We get to understand the lifting side a little bit more. They get to understand the family side a little bit more. It's not them going out anymore and just lifting for the weight or for the prize, or it's them understanding the story behind it, and it's us understanding why they do it. And I think whenever you put those two things together, it's going to make a huge difference for everyone to be on the same boat, everyone to communicate. They understand we do medically fragile and we understand they do powerlifting, but neither one of us quite understand the other side unless you're a family and a powerlifter. And we do have a couple of those, but unless you have done that, people just don't quite grasp what the Anchored in Iron and the Anchored in Hope thing will be. And I think it's going to be huge to do that. It gives everybody a little bit more support team. It gives them someone to cheer them on when they're going to a powerlifting meet because they'll have connected with the family. And it'll give us someone who, when we're in the hospital, someone to follow us and continue what our family goes through and kind of understand it a little bit more. And I think that big relationships can be built by doing that. I can say you don't want to miss the Anchored in Iron event because it's really fun. You'll get to see things that you never got to see like that before. At least we did last year when we hosted it, and this year it'll be even bigger and even better, I hope. And I think that it opens up the eyes outside just the people who follow the medical community, who you get inspired, you get encouraged. I even got a gym membership last year after I went anchored and iron meet, which that's not something I would ever do. So you get very inspired by each other and following the families and the kids along the way. Like Chris, for instance, that y'all see in the video, he follows my family and has since day one as I've followed his. And I think that you get those bonds and those connections, and they're lifelong. They're not going to just fray off.
Iron Mafia, we put on about 13 meets a year in several different states. And we also hold down, as far as the brothers and us families, we all hold down full-time jobs, and so we've got that in our own family. So if it wasn't for holding down those full-time jobs, we could probably hold several more meets a year. But just taking care of those meets and running them the way they should be ran takes up a lot of our time. So if not for that, we'd run more.
My son was born April 25th, 2017. Had a lot of unexpected complications. We were flown up to UK in order to have some studies done to look after my son Lennox Decker. At that time, we met you guys. Y'all reached out to us, Jessica and Kevin. Sent out word to us that you wanted to meet up with us, and we did meet, and let us know a little bit about the organization, and come with us with open arms. And it was nice. Made sure that we had the toiletries and stuff that we needed during our stay while we were off work. Kelsey Dyer Mulligan and her husband Justin were up there with their son Clinton. They were actually a few rooms down from us, and right immediately from meeting them, it was comforting. It was nice to have somebody up there where we were so far away from home. So it was fantastic, just to have somebody in the area.
Once you do this for the first time and see the impact that it has on families and kids and just their parents and I know several of the people that this has helped greatly personally, and it also goes out to help families that you don't know. But when you see those families getting help and getting things they need on a one-on-one basis, it really means a lot. And doing that last year, we've seen the Anchored in Iron Hannah's Care Package grow and take off, and that organization is helping more and more people. And you hear more about it. You hear responses from people that Hannah's Care Package has helped. And for that to continue to grow, it has to come full circle with, there has to be more donations, there has to be more time given, there has to be more fundraising, there has to be more of everything, more love, more time given to this organization. So for us to do this for a second year, there was no decision there. So I think last year we raised about $6,000 through this event, and seeing it grow, we knew that these are people doing right things for people in need, and for us to be a part of it, it's just a good thing to be a very small piece of what's going on here to help so many people. Well, I mean, I guess I can speak firsthand as far as the way that's going to feel towards the lifters and those families. Last year, I got a privilege to go and just spectate and kind of be a part of Relentless Minnesota. And you see those lifters there paired with kids and their families, and you see the impact that has on those kids and those families. Not only them, but the impact that has in return in those lifters' lives. I mean, I've left that meet with memories and things in my head that I continue to think of daily, and just to realize the blessings that it is to be a part of that, just to see smiling faces on kids and their families, knowing that there's people there that are paired individually with them, for them, not as a whole. It's one thing to be a part of a group, but to be paired individually with somebody and get to spend time and talk and discuss about things that maybe you wouldn't in a group, and then to keep interacting with those people one-on-one throughout the year, that's great. I mean, there's nothing like it. And I was fortunate enough to get picked for Relentless Minnesota this year. So I'm paired with a child, and her name is Danny. And it's I haven't got to compete yet, but we interact through social media, and it's a great experience already.
I was in the family's shoes at one point, so you know I know the bond that it can you know create.
Yeah.
You know, just being able to see and talk to, you know, what you're trying to accomplish and who you're trying to help. I think it'll be very special.
I'm in training right now, and I haven't got to compete for health reasons in several years, and got an opportunity to get picked for Relentless. And this whole training cycle, I'm using it to benefit myself and help me get to where I need to be and where I should have already been. But on the other hand, it's nothing about me, and it's not about the total I'm going to get or the lifts I'm going to get or not get. You know, it's about, again, those smiling faces of those kids and just going there and being there for them. There's going to be another day for me to compete. There's going to be another day for me to train. But this event, just like this Anchored in Iron event, most of these people sign up knowing that this is a charity event. That's why most people sign up for it, you know, because of the cause and what they're going there for. So to be able to pair these lifters that already is doing it for that cause with a child, it's great. I mean, there's not going to be anything like it for these people. When you're meeting that family, go into that with an open mindset of what that family goes through and the struggles they have, but then again, going in there with a perception and a mindset of how we can help these people, you know, on a not just a weekend basis for that meet, but how can we help these people for the rest of their life, you know. And that's the big part of this is lifelong experiences with these people. And when people know that people care for them and that you're doing it for them, and you know, that's where it gets into more than just a powerlifting meet. But I would just tell those lifters that I went into it nervous. I'm still nervous about my meet coming up right now and getting with the family, even though I interact with them on social media. But sometimes we don't realize how much in need these families are and how they're reaching out to you. So just be prepared. Be prepared to be there mentally and physically and in every way you can for these people. So the Anchored in Iron meet is this year is going to be September the 7th, and we're getting a lot of good turnouts and a lot of good people supporting it right now. So I guess the main thing is, and maybe with this video, is if you see this before the meet, and if you don't get to be involved in being a part of this meet and giving in anything, I know giving a lot of people thinks is money, but if you can give your time, your talents, your efforts, or your money, you know, that's how you can be a part of this charity or this event September the 7th. You know, you can just show up and say, I'm here to help. If you don't want to give this year or now, come to the meet, see what's going on, see how people are being helped through this event, and I think it'll open up your mind to a bigger picture of what's going on and what is in need for this thing.